gentlemen, what the world's been waiting for, what the world needs now, the one, the only, amazing, original Johnny Blaze. Often imitated, but never duplicated. Here's Johnny.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome you all to the amazing original Johnny Blaze Show. It's always great to be here as I blaze right in with my karate kick. Let's have a blazing hot fun time. A man walks into a bar with his pet octopus. He tells the bartender, "This octopus is a musical genius. I'll bet you $100 he can play any instrument you give him." The bartender hands the octopus an old guitar and plays a flawless rendition of Johnny Be Good. The bartender tells the man, "If your friend can play that old piano in the corner, I'll give you $500. The octopus strolls over to the piano and plays Great Balls of Fire without missing a note. The bartender walks into the back room of the bar and returns with a set of old bagpipes. "Now, if your friend can play these, I'll give you $1,000. The octopus stares silently at the bagpipes for several minutes. The man speaks up, "Hurry up and play this thing or we'll all lose our money." The octopus replies, "Play this thing. I'm too busy figuring out how to have sex with this thing." The wealthy owner of a fried chicken franchise travels to Rome seeking an audience with the Pope. He offers to donate $100 million to the church if the Pope will change the Lord's Prayer and give us this day our daily chicken. After intense negotiations, the Pope agrees to change the prayer for $500 million. Later that day, the Pope held a meeting with his cardinals. The Pope stood up and began to speak. "The good news is this church will soon receive $500 million. The bad news is we just lost the Wonder Bread account. We have a blazing hot fun show with a special guest. He's a singer, a songwriter, a guitarist, an all-around entertainer, and he's known as a singing mechanic. So please give a big warm welcome and say hello to Billy DeVereaux."
Hey.
Oh, there you are. Billy DeVereaux.
That's me.
Hey, yeah, welcome to the amazing original Johnny Blaze Show. Glad you made it.
Thank you very much.
Well, you're certainly
Been kind
welcome.
of looking forward to this.
You're looking sharp. You got a cowboy hat on. You got a nice shirt.
That's kind of how I always dress.
I think that's cool. That's really cool, Billy. All right. Yeah. Well, anyway, let's get started. Just wondering, how'd you get started in entertainment? Give me a rundown of the Billy DeVereaux story. How'd you get started and where are you from? Tell me everything here.
Good Lord. Growing up, Daddy could play anything that had a string on it. In fact, Daddy had a stick with one string on it. He'd tie it to a bucket and job the end of the stick down in the ground, stand on the bucket and play, and the bucket would be the amplifier. So he could really play anything that had strings on it. And we wound up going up and down the Tamiami Trail in Miami, playing music all over the place, me and Daddy and my 3 older sisters and my mama. And so, I was shy. They'd have to come find me and whoop me and beat me half the time, get me up on the stage. But they got me up on the stage, and so, time went by and we all got better and we all did this and we all did that and we all went off in different ways. And oldest sister wound up going to college and got her a master's degree in music. And hell, the next thing we know, she's playing all over the place, up and down Beale Street in Memphis, and playing at all these studios, and you can hear her on background doing commercials on TV, and so that was great. And the whole time I was writing music too. I think the first song I ever wrote, I was 5 years old, and me and my sister had been acting up in church, and Mama said she was gonna whoop me. And I wrote a song about how she ought not whoop me on the way home, and sung it to her, and then she whooped me anyway, of course. But so I was the first songwriter in the family. But later on in life, I had me this song I had done wrote. It's called "Speed Queen." I don't mean no washing machine. And sister heard me. Sister Judy heard that. She said, "Did you write that?" I said, "Yes." She said, "I think I can write music too." And hell, next thing I know, she's in Nashville and got a #1. And so I said, I think I can go to Nashville and get me a #1 too. So I went to Nashville and I'm singing and I'm singing and I'm singing and I'm singing and I'm up on stage at the Commodore Lounge just singing. And this particular night, I think everybody in the bar was a songwriter, so nobody's listening to you. They all talking amongst themselves, and you can barely hear yourself up on stage. And the cigarette smoke so thick in the bar, I couldn't breathe. And when I come down off the stage, I said, you know what? I'm tired of music. So a few weeks later, I was riding down the road and I saw this little sign said Shaolin Kung Fu. So I went and learned Kung Fu for 27 years and become a black belt and become a kickboxer and a boxer. And I even wound up teaching my sister Judy, you know Judy Rodman.
Oh, yeah.
Wound up teaching her until she got a black belt too. And so here's what I'm gonna tell you about that is number one, that taught her how to get in touch with a whole lot of pieces of her body that she had never got in touch with before, and it made her the best vocalist trainer that there ever was. But yeah, I got my ribs broke one night in a kickboxing match in Tullahoma, and after that I said, you know what, I think I'll go back and try music again. So I called up Judy and I said, let's write a song. I got one about half wrote. And so we wrote it, and some dude picked it up and decided to use it as a title cut on his album. His name's Randy Coors. He was a Grammy award-winning dobro player. And he goes all across America, and he's doing this song, and it's at, no, I forget, I think it made it up in somewhere in the top 20 on Billboard, but about the time this happened, but he was out there on the road and about done broke down a few times and needed some money. And he called the record label up and he said, hey, I need some money. How many CDs have I sold? Now, bear in mind, he done sold out of CDs at every one of his concerts. The record label said, we ain't got a record of no CD sales. He said, what? So they went to suing one another. And the next thing you know, the song was called A Crack in My Armor. It was Music Row Weekly's Song of the Month in Nashville. It disappeared, just freaking disappeared.
Really?
And so I keep going after that. I keep going and I keep going. And what I actually am is, while we was all growing up and Sister Judy and Becky and Pam all got to go off and do their thing, Becky became a master degree nurse. Pam become a scientist. Judy become a music artist. And here I am. I'm a master mechanic. I can fix anything. If it rolls on wheels and runs on gas, I can fix it so it'll last and last. But, you know, so they did all their thing and I did all. And so what wound up happening was I decided to put out some YouTube videos and I write me some old songs. And the songs that I wrote, I kind of used a combination of styles. And so I've got songs out there that are country, rock, blues, and then I've got some that are a combination of country, rock, blues, and rap. I even wrote some rap songs. And what happened with them songs was I've got like just in the Nashville area about 15,000 customers that know me.
Wow.
And all 15,000 of them loved them songs and supported them songs. And anytime I did a show, they would come out and see. And so like there's a bar at the corner of Antioch Pike and Harding in Nashville. It's a biker bar. It's called Bikini Beach. Well, I gave away a car to one lucky ticket holder at Bikini Beach. You hear that, y'all? That's how you approach a bar and see if they want you. You don't go in there and say, hey, my band and me wants to come in here and do some songs. Will you pay me? No, I go in there and I say, let's do an event. So they did an event and I completely sold the bar out of beer. Completely out of beer. So that's really good, you know, thing to have on your repertoire when you go around trying to do shows at other bars. Right now I'm working on a show at 3rd and Lindsley downtown, and it'll be about my 4th show there. And we usually sell them out too. In fact, one time, one of the artists that I brought 2 bus loads of people, and they stayed till 3 o'clock in the morning. So I have an extremely good repertoire with all the bars in town, places like that. I've been very lucky in that I had a sister that was a #1 artist, because it got me in a lot of doors that songwriters in Nashville come to Nashville and just wish they don't care if they ever made it to #1. They just wish they had one experience like this. Let me give you one experience like this. Sister Judy's telling everybody, hey, my brother's a good mechanic. So all the big artists in Nashville know, hey, Billy DeVereaux's a singing mechanic. He can fix anything that's broke. And so this dude calls me up and he says, hey, I got a 65 model Austin Healey. You think you can fix it? So I go over to his house and I look at it, and it's 65 Austin Healey, but literally they're simple. And so I figured it out right. It took me longer to get the parts than it did to figure it out and fix it. But here's what happened when I got through. He said, Billy, come on upstairs with me. So I go in his house with him. And right as you go in the door, there's some upstairs. So we go up the stairs, and all the way up the stairs is paintings of him with this artist and that artist and the other artist. And right up at the top of the stairs is a picture of him with John Lennon, and they're shaking hands. And we get all the way up to the top of the stairs, and we stop right there. And he looked at me, he said, Billy, you see that picture right there? I said, yeah. He said, when John Lennon started shaking my hand went numb. He said, then my forearm went numb, and I figured I was about to pass out, and I was standing there looking all weird, and John Lennon looked at me and said, it's all right, Dave, you have good music. Dave Loggins took me into the room at the top of the stairs, and there were guitars hanging all the way around on all 4 walls. In the middle was an island, and it had an upper level and a lower level of guitars. And so there's like 200 guitars hanging around in this room, and all of them is priceless. And he reached in the middle and grabbed one, and he said, grab your guitar. And so I reached in and grabbed a Martin. And we had been talking about this song because my sister Judy had got me started. Judy had told me, hey, Bill, let's write a song about, you know how them people are standing on the side of the road and one of them's digging a ditch and 5 of them's watching, and it looked like they're standing there waiting on a hammer to fall? I said, okay. And so I told Dave Loggins about that. He grabs his guitar, and I grabbed my guitar and I start playing, and I only had one verse wrote at the time. I start playing, and I get through the end of my verse, and then I looked at him and said, she wants to be somebody waiting on a hammer to fall. And Dave said, it's got to have something in it about a nail, about driving, and it's got to have something about so I got a fantastic song ready to record called Waiting on a Hammer to Fall.
Wow.
Got another fantastic song waiting to record called $1 Million Body with a 50-cent Soul. I mean,
Wow.
God.
You're really something. You're really talented. It's all in the family. You're fortunate. I didn't realize at the beginning when I was doing research on you, but that your sister Judy, who I just got through interviewing, and she's your sister, and you help one another, and that's phenomenal. That really is. I mean, not everybody is fortunate to have something like that. That's definitely a step up, and that definitely helps.
Let me tell you first, Mama taught old Lim how to cook while Daddy had me outside mowing the grass and all that kind of stuff. So what happened? I'd go in there after I got done mowing the grass, and I'd get my sister Becky, because she's the next one to me, and I'd get her to teach me everything they just did, and before you know it, I'm cooking more than they.
Wow. So you're playing music, and you're cooking, you're doing a little everything. And to be able, it's hard enough to beat. You got to trade for life as a mechanic. You said you can fix almost anything, and then after you fix the cars for your your customers, I heard that you usually give them CDs. Is that correct?
Yeah. That's one thing that's gotten me more recognition probably than it. In fact, one time a guy, he was broke down on the side of the interstate, right? And so I go to him and I forget his fan belt or something, whatever it was, I fixed it, and then when I got through, I handed him a CD, and I guess it's about 2 weeks later, I get an email from him, said, hey, I'm a DJ up here in Chicago. We're playing all your music now.
Wow. Well, that's what you call great luck, Billy. It really is. That's great luck. You give a CD to somebody, and it turns out he's a DJ. So he's going to definitely play your music, your songs.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. That's blazing hot and awesome, Billy. That's really something. Yeah, talk to me about your. So it sounds like his music. You go for almost anything. Is that right? Is it? You have a favorite, or do you like them all? Country, folk, jazz,
Wow.
pop, gospel.
That's a heck of a question. So growing up, it was all classic country, and Daddy insisted on you was a hippie and you was going to grow up and be weird if you didn't do country music. And so when Judy first branched out and started doing some rock and stuff, well, she became a hippie according to him. But we all kind of branched out a little bit. And first, what happened was I started liking disco. And we was in Memphis, Tennessee at the time, and there was this DJ named what was it? Rick Dees? Yeah, Rick Dees.
Really?
And he did Disco Duck and all them kind of songs, and so we was all in disco back then. And then so finally I heard Freebird, and that broke me from disco, and I became a hard Southern rock loving Freebird, Leonard Skinner, and just all just about anybody that was putting out Southern rock at the time was my favorite. And then I was laying there one day and somebody played Stairway to Heaven. After that, I was lost. I was lost in Robert Plant and his style, and I tried to emulate him. I got a song that I wrote, and in that song, I'm using some of Johnny Cash and some of Robert Plant's styles.
So what you're telling me, you like all kinds. What is the one that is it country that you prefer over all the others, or you like everything equally, all of the musical genres?
It's somewhere between country and Southern rock, I think, is my favorite.
It is, okay. And who has inspired you now? Who is the singer and songwriter, anybody that you grew up with that really has inspired you, that you really look up to?
Man. Townes Van Zandt. I've personally recorded 2 of his songs and put them out.
Who was that now? I didn't hear that. What was that?
Townes Van Zandt.
Townes Van Zandt? Okay.
Yes. He's a folk songwriter, and you check out Townes Van Zandt. He's very special. But it's, and then, man, there's so many. Robert Plant's another one. He's a great songwriter and singer. There's so many that are just
What
both.
about people like Ricky Nelson, John Denver in the past? What do you think of them?
John Denver. Yeah, you have to be able. See, it's not anybody can. I won't say anybody. It's one thing to go out and emulate someone and sing a cover song and do it really well, and then go around town bragging about how great you are. It's another thing to create your own and make it sound well so that people like it. It takes a whole different talent. And that's where we kind of grew up from. And that's where Judy came from. That's where I came from. And so doing cover songs, I go out and sing karaoke just every Friday and Saturday night, and everybody everywhere loves it. I hate it. I'd so much rather just do my own stuff.
So you prefer writing your own material, original over cover songs? That's what you're telling me.
Most definitely, yes.
What is there about doing your own that gets you excited? Why you'd rather do your own versus cover? I mean, you'll do some cover, but you're not crazy about it. What you're telling me.
Let me tell you what, I just signed up for Seniors Got Talent. It's a new show that's coming up. It's kind of got like America's Got Talent.
Really?
And so I sent them in a sample song, and the sample song, about last year, I guess it was, I was sitting there and somebody brought up the fact that there was these clothes called rompers. And so I looked online, and the California boys is all wearing them. They called rompers, and it's like a shirt and a pair of shorts sewed together, kind of like pajamas or something. I don't know. They all wearing them, and they talking about how sexy they are wearing them. And I think to myself, and I remember, when we was growing up, we all had overalls, and what would happen with the overalls is first the knee would wear out. And then after the knee wore out and you had a hole in it, well, pretty soon the hole went all the way around and the leg fell off. Well, now you got a pair of overall shorts. And then, well, the shorts start to frizzling. And when they frizzle up and get where they're just almost to your butthole, that's when you got to throw them away. But till then, you wore them everywhere. And so to me, that was me and my redneck romper. And so I got a YouTube video out there, and it's about me and my redneck romper.
You and your redneck rompers. That's what it's called? That's
Yep.
cute. That's very, that's catchy. You have a sense of humor, too. I like your accent, too. You got a great accent, great Southern accent there.
It's weird. I was born in Anchorage, Alaska.
Oh, you were?
And when I was 6 months old, we moved to Miami, Florida.
Oh, really? Okay.
And when I was 13, I guess it was, we moved to Memphis, and then I stayed in Memphis just about a year, and then we moved to Pontotoc, Mississippi, and that's where Mama and Daddy was from. And Mama and Daddy is the one that taught us how to talk and react, and so I guess what you're hearing is Pontotoc, Mississippi accent.
So it sounds like something from the South, like somewhere from the South, Mississippi, or it could be or Texas, or Tennessee, whatever it sounds like. That's great.
In a weird way, here's what I've been. I've been a 95% successful salesman on every car repair that I've ever done. And I've been a record breaker at Pet Boys. I set a Southern national record at Pet Boys. I set a record at Little Brother Shell in Brentwood, Tennessee that it will never be broken, where I did 106 hours of work in 1 week.
Wow.
And I stayed up 3 days without sleeping that week.
Something. I guess it's a natural talent you must have to fix cars. Besides, you got the combined with that, with being able to play the guitar and sing. Now, did you teach yourself how to play the guitar and sing, or did you take lessons, or take lessons from your sister, from Judy?
No, took lessons from Daddy. And
your dad.
and after Daddy, here's what Judy gave me. We standing on stage one time, and we all singing the chorus, and Daddy's singing the lead, right? So it's our time to join in on the chorus. And about the second time we all joined in on the chorus, after we got through and it was time for the verse again, Judy turned around and looked at me and said, "You're supposed to be singing harmony, not melody." And I said, "What's a harmony?" After that, she had to teach me and Becky and Pam all about harmony as opposed to melody. We just thought we were supposed to sing in the same key. But I kind of went from there to Daddy taught me how to play every chord that there was on the guitar.
Well,
He never showed me how to play a lead, and I never really wanted to play lead. You don't need to play. I didn't need to play lead in order to write my own songs. I simply needed to know chords. But here's what Judy taught me: theory, and what harmony is, and what melody is, and what a chorus is what it should be. If this is the verse, this should be the chorus. And so I got tips on songwriting that it takes people 20 years just to even start to begin by the time I was 20.
So you definitely had an advantage, but you have somebody in the family like Judy giving you all these ideas and tips. It definitely helps versus someone else who doesn't have that kind of benefits. So that's fantastic that you're so close to each other, you're able to help one another. I think that's wonderful. It's really cool, Billy. Yeah. You write your own songs. When you write songs now, is it music or words first? And how do you come up with ideas for songs? Is it from experiences? How do you?
Wow. That's a multifaceted question, because sometimes I'm sitting there and here's what I do most nights. I just pick up the guitar and I start playing. And I don't know what happens. A feeling comes over me, a mood comes over me, or what. but I write a complete different melody at least every night, and sometimes two or three. And so sometimes I write the melody and then the words come in my mind.
Oh,
But sometimes, like not long ago, and me and Judy are working on this right now, it was raining like crazy outside. And I'm sitting out on the front porch and I was listening to the creek, listening to the water run through the creek. Because, the creek's normally about 6 inches deep. Well, tonight it's raining like crazy. It's about 4 feet deep and I can hear it real good. And I sit there and I thought about it and I thought, wait a minute. That's the same rhythm that the creek has when it's only 6 inches deep, and tonight it's 4 feet deep. It's 4 feet deep, but it's moving at the same rhythm. And then I started thinking about, what is that rhythm? And I started patting my feet. And then before I know it, words hit me, What if all the birds in the trees start singing the same song? And then, before I had a song called the Song of the River, and I called Judy with it, and she's like, send me some more words, and we're co-writing this. So that's going to be another great song, the Song of the River.
so it starts off. It starts off with the melody first, and then words, and then sometimes you'll end up getting the words before you get the melody. That's what you're telling me, right?
Yes, most definitely.
There's nothing in stone. In other words, it changes. It's changeable. It's not always the same thing. Okay.
No, and you have to be, well, here's two things. A, you have to be ready for that. B, you have to write it. If you don't write it down, you ain't gonna remember it. No.
I see. Now you play the acoustic guitar or electric guitar or both, or just the acoustic guitar?
Both.
Oh, both.
Both.
Okay.
I've got an Ibanez arch top I love.
I see. Now, have you ever had a band? Do you currently have a band, or have you ever had a band in the past?
Yes, I've done that several times. And
How did you meet your band members? What is the name of your band, and how did you meet them? Where, when, and how did you meet them? And tell me about them.
most of the most wow, I had a show coming up one time at this big bar in Nashville. This hold like 1,500 people, and so I go out, and Nashville advertises you can get hired. They call them hired guns, and they claim they can play anything, anytime, anywhere, and all you gotta do is show them one time. And so I got all my music recorded. I sent it to them. They claimed they didn't want to have a single rehearsal. They just wanted to show up at dude, in the middle of one song, I realized one of them's playing a 1-3 time. It's supposed to be a 3-3 time. It's supposed to be a 4-4 time. One of them's playing the wrong key. No. And so here's what I finally figured out is having a band in Nashville is kind of like being a babysitter. They want you to pay them to practice. They want you to hold their hand the whole way. If it's a bad night and we didn't make no money, they don't understand. If it's a good night, we make extra money, they don't get no extra appreciation. And so here's what I did was got me a keyboard. It had a key on it that said accompaniment. I hit that key and I realized when I play now, it fills in. It's got the bass, the drums, the lead guitar. I can do a whole show all by myself, and I don't need nobody. And I did 137 of them in Nashville.
Wow.
I did a couple of them standing right next to Judy, and her on stage too.
So you would rather be independent and not have to deal with band members, just do it yourself. That's what you're telling me.
Unless I can make enough money to hire that dude. The songs require top talent, not
Right.
not. It requires top talent that can create, and that's not cheap.
Okay. So you could save money by doing it yourself and not have to deal with other people, other personalities. That's what you're telling me, right?
That's what I'm telling you. But at the same time, here's what I'll tell you is I've got songs out there. I'm on iTunes and everywhere else. There's 7 of them, there's actually 13 of them in all, but 7 of them are recorded with the best of the best in Nashville, and Judy produced.
How many songs and albums in your career would you say you produced?
13 songs in one album.
Okay, I see. Okay.
Let me tell you, one time I went, I said, I had this partner and he was helping me out, and he's kind of a little bit of a show promoter kind of a guy himself. But he said, why don't you do some cover songs? And I said, okay, I'm going to do Where Did You Sleep Last Night? And I'm going to do Waiting Around to Die by Townes Van Zandt. Where did you sleep last night? Well, let me tell you about Where Did You Sleep Last Night. It's attributed to, what's his name? The guy. Here's the thing about the song Where Did You Sleep Last Night. It was it was a set of chords, and when you learned how to play guitar, and you lived in Georgia in the mountains, this was the set of chords that they taught you how to play guitar with. And if you wanted words to go with the song, you made up your own words and sang them with the song. But it's the same chords. Everybody knew the song. Everybody could play along. And so finally, in the 1940s, this dude comes along, and somehow or another, he's got words. Well, he was asked himself, this is Leadbelly, where did you get these words? Leadbelly said, I don't know. So nobody knows where the words came from, and the song was just, but it's attributed to Leadbelly, and it's called "Where'd You Sleep Last Night?" Right? So and that was in the 40s. Well, hell, in the 50s, Dolly Parton comes along, and Bill Monroe rewrites this song and called it "Sweetheart of the Pines." Well, that was a much sweeter version, slower version, and country version of the same song. Well, then along comes Kurt Cobain and Nirvana, and they decide, well, they're going to do this song in the same key that Leadbelly did it in. It's E flat. Well, that means you got to stop everything and retune all the instruments, because there ain't an E flat on no instrument unless you retune it. So and that's how Kurt Cobain and Nirvana did it. Well, when I announced I was going to do "Where'd You Sleep Last Night" in E flat, oh my God, everybody in Nashville showed up. Well, I don't say everybody, but a whole bunch of them showed up. At least four lead guitar players showed up, and they all wanted to play. And so we let them, many of them play as they could on there, and that song was number one for me all summer long. But I could only afford to put it on internet radio stations. I can't afford to get it on mainline stations.
Where Did You Sleep? Now that's Where Did You Sleep Last Night? You're talking about that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Where Did You Sleep Last? And another song that my daddy wrote called "The Painted Desert."
I was going to ask you about that. Yeah.
Too.
The Painted Desert. I was going to ask you how you went about creating the Painted Desert. That's what I was going to ask you next.
Well, here's what happened. When I was 3 years old, I can remember my daddy's torso and head sticking up over the end of my crib with a guitar in his hand, singing that song. That was my favorite song. Apparently, I asked for it or something when I was little. He'd ask me, "What song you wearing?" And I'd say "Desert," and he'd play it for me. And so time went on. We did the show. Every show we was at, everywhere we went, Daddy had to do his, and he had written it. It was called "The Painted Desert." Oh. And it's a song about he was about to go off to war, and he's riding in the bus, and they headed to California, and he's thinking about my mama all the way across the desert, and so later on in life, he's dying from this disease called IBM disease that paralyzed every muscle in his body where he couldn't play anymore. But he's laying there in the bed, and he said, "Boy, there's a bunch of songs in the top drawer and under in the bedroom. Go open it up and see what you can do with them." And so the first song I pulled out was "The Painted Desert." And what I remembered was...
Excuse me, you're talking about your father, right?
Yeah. Okay. So what I remembered was at the end of the song, he never did really have a good ending. He just kind of trailed off. Oh. At the end of it, I made an ending for it, "To Die For," and that song was number one for me. It's still, in fact, right now I'm number 1, 2, and 3 on a radio station called N1M Music, number1music.com. Wow. And that's global.
That's phenomenal. Tell me about now. Let me ask you something. Tell me about your travel. As far as your travels, where have you traveled in your entertainment? Have you done any touring? And what are your favorite venues?
Pelham, Tennessee has been one of my favorite things I ever did. And here's what happened. I'm sitting at Bikini Beach Bar, and there's this woman, and she was kind of, I was a biker too back then. I had a Harley. And so there was this woman that used to be at the front of the pack all the time, and she was kind of a leader in the bar. Name was Kathy. And so uh, most of the time, Kathy was very stoic, is a way to put it. She was kind of hefty and very stoic. And
What do you mean by stoic? What do you mean by stoic exactly?
she never smiled
Really?
and always had a serious look on her face and was always serious about it. And you couldn't joke with her, and everything better be serious when you're talking to her. Well, so I look out the back window of Bikini Beach one time, and there she is out back just bawling, crying and crying. And so I went back there and I put my arm around her and said, "Hey, what's wrong?" And she said, "My boyfriend died." And she told me about her boyfriend.
Oh,
I had just met this dude the week before. Bikini Beach had a big event. At the end of the event, there's some dude standing, there's a trash can out back. It is on fire. It's trying to keep warm. And there's this dude standing back there and had his hands in his pocket, and he's just kind of wobbling back and forth. And I said, "Hey, you all right?" He said, "Yeah, I'm all right." I said, "How you doing?" "My name's Billy." He's like, and he told me his name, and then he's rocking back and forth. He said, he said, "Did you know that I'm a police officer?" I said, "What?" He said, "Yeah, I'm a police officer in Pelham, Tennessee." I said, "Really?" "Yeah." He said, "I'm Kat's fiance." I said, "What?" "Yeah, I'm Kat. We're about to get married." Well, when she was out back crying, it's because he had died from a diabetic coma, and nobody had found him for 3 days.
Well, that's sad. That's very sad.
And I told her, I said, "Kat, I can't do nothing. I'm just a mechanic." I said, "Maybe I could write a song about something about it." I said, "Why don't you just write down your thoughts?" About 2 weeks later, she comes with me to me, and she's got 5 pages. And the 5 pages are and and then "I miss him. I just want to be with him again. I miss him. And so I got a song out there called what's it called? In my arms again. It's called "In My Arms Again," and it's Johnny Cash, Robert Plant style mixed together. 5 different. It's top music artists in Nashville, and the melody is 5 different styles in one song.
That's really heavy. It really is. It sounds like it. She had so much emotion, and she loved her fiance, and unfortunately he passed. And so she poured her emotion onto the piece of paper with the ideas that she had, and you were able to translate that into an emotional, a sad but emotional song.
Yeah.
Able to tell a story. I'm sure you like telling stories for your songs.
I guess that's my favorite style is storytelling
Oh,
songs.
it is. It is. I was right. I had a feeling about that.
Yeah.
Okay. That's the mark of an excellent songwriter and performer. If you can tell a story with the words that make sense, I think that's very important. And not just anybody can do that. It's a special talent that you have. You are very fortunate, Billy, to have that. And so,
I had the greatest teacher on earth, and she's still my teacher to this day. And that's I'm 66 years old. That's 51 years that she's been teaching. I'm her oldest student. Yeah.
when you say who were you talking about now?
Judy Rodman.
Oh, Judy, your sister, Judy Rodman, of course.
Yeah.
Well, you couldn't ask for anything better. You have a
No.
great sister that loves you and cares about you, and you two have more in common than just a common cold, and you help one another. She helps you, and you help her.
Oh,
You
yeah.
have a winning team, winning partnership.
Yes, sir.
That's something to be proud of. It really is. I had a great interview with her just recently. I did, and I asked if she knew anybody, and she referred me to you. And at the beginning, I had no idea that you two were related. Then I found out that you two were brother and sister. So I think that's great. That's blazing hot and awesome. It's all worked out. It all worked out. Now, talk to me about your performing. Now, when you go out and do your performing, do you prefer the large crowds or the small crowds, or you prefer them equally? And what's the largest crowd you've ever worked at, and what's the smallest crowd you've ever had?
That's a fantastic question. And let me tell you the answer to that. This is the answer to that question for probably every artist that there is out there, because at some point, as an artist is, especially as they're starting out and starting to come up, you're going to hear them say, how do you overcome stage fright?
That's another good question I was going to ask.
Let me
About
tell
your
you the answer to that.
Performance anxiety. Do you ever have performance anxiety? If you do, how do you deal with it? That's another thing I wanted to ask.
Now, bear in mind, you're talking to somebody that went from 5 years old and mom and daddy had to come chase him down and whoop him to get him up on the stage to now. And you know what the difference is I got now? Here's what I got now. I got Judy Rodman in the back of my head, and Dave Loggins in the back of my head, and Roy August in the back of my head, and more people like that in the back. And they're telling me, Billy, you're ready. Your songs are good. And that's all I need. I'll stand in front of anybody. And the biggest crowd so far, probably 20,000.
And what's the smallest crowd?
100.
And which do you prefer? You prefer the large?
Oh, I love a big crowd. Yeah.
I see. Now, when you do your shows, okay, so you do it yourself. You don't have any backup, no bands. You're independent. What you're telling me?
No, it depends. No, it depends on the show. If the show can pay, then yes, sir. I'll have 5 of the best musicians you ever heard.
Well, the show paid. Okay, I got you. And now, have you ever had a show where you tried hard to make it work, and for some reason it didn't? It's like this, like Murphy's Law. If anything goes wrong, it can and it will. And if that's the case, how did you handle something like that?
Well, I told you about the show where all the musicians were at the wrong time or in the wrong key, and I pretty much just stepped up and started playing louder and took over the mic on that show.
Well,
but then there was like the time at BB King's. I put on an event down there, and Judy was a special guest at the show, as a matter of fact. But at one point in the show, I'm singing this song, and I get all excited, and I jump off the stage and with my guitar. And I realized, well, hell, the chord on my guitar ain't long enough. It jerks me back. I hit the floor, and there I am. So that's kind of embarrassing, things that happen like that.
Yeah, have you ever had a guitar string break, or you forgot the lyrics of a song? And if that happened, then how did you deal with that?
I have forgotten the lyrics on a song and had the guitar string break. Both of them have happened. I went on and kept playing with a broke string, and I made up more words.
Okay, so you improvise. You just come up with things off the top of your head, and apparently act like nothing really bad happened. You just go right along, right?
It depends on how good the words were I made up at the time. If they were a joke, I'd laugh. If they were good, I'd act like that's what I meant to sing.
How do you energize an audience now? How do you energize an audience? And do you have any audience participation? And if so, how do you get the audience to participate?
Oh, Lord, I tell them stories before every song. I got this one song called My Wife's Gone, Could I Meet Yours? And before I sang that, I tell them the story. And it's about, I went down to the bar. There's a guy sitting there, and his head's down on the table, and he's crying. And I said, what's wrong? He said, my wife's fat. And I said, what? He said, my wife's fat, and she knows I don't like fat women.
What was that? I didn't hear that last part. Something was bad? What was that?
He said, my wife's fat, and she knows I don't like
my wife's fat.
women.
Okay.
And this dude's about this big around, And so that just got all over me. I went over to the bar and ordered me a drink, and had me a drink, and thought about it, and then went home, and I was sitting on the throne where I write a lot of my songs, and I'm sitting there on the throne thinking about it, and before you know it, I done wrote the whole song. My wife's gone. Could I meet yours?
My wife is gone? Okay. Wow.
And that's one of my most requested songs, by the way.
Really?
Yeah.
Now, there's a rejection throughout life, especially in entertainment. How do you handle rejection yourself?
Hmm. Not very well. I don't really handle rejection well.
You've never been rejected in anything that you've ever done in entertainment, any auditioning or anything that you've done and experienced in your performing?
Oh, listen, I auditioned for America's Got Talent one time. You
Oh,
got to hear this
really?
story. Yeah.
You did,
So what happens is, the audition's on Monday, right? And
right?
so Friday I go over to Judy's and I'm singing. I'm gonna sing. What was it? Oh, it's a Tim McGraw song. I went anyway. I'm going home from Judy's house, and I'm singing it just hard as I can. And a long time ago, I had got one of my teeth broke when I was kickboxing, and so it was a fake tooth in there. And I'm driving down the road singing that song hard as I can. My tooth flies out, and I catch it, and so this is Friday night. The next day, Saturday, and there ain't no dentist open. So I go to the drugstore and I buy everything they got to glue a tooth back in, and I glue it. And so I put toilet paper all in my mouth and keep it all dry, and then I put my tooth in there and glue it in, and it falls right out. And so then finally, my daughter Rachel calls me. Dad, I got the stuff. It's oral adhesive. So I get it and put it in, and this is Monday morning. So I get up Monday morning. I'm taking my shower. I put toilet paper all in my mouth around my tooth where it fell out, getting it good and dry while I'm taking the shower. I get out of the shower. I glue my tooth in. I go down to America's Got Talent, and I walk into the first building. They said, "No, you're supposed to go in that other building down here." So I looked, and as far as I could possibly see at the other end of the field was this other building. It looked like an ant, a little ant hole or something. So I walk all the way down there. There's a line all the way around it, and so you got to get in the end of this line. And in front of me is this girl, and she's wearing pink boots and pink shorts and a pink jacket and a pink hat and got a pink guitar case, and two guys standing on both sides of her wearing pink. And it was I think it was about 32 degrees outside this morning, so we was all standing there freezing. And so what happened was we got through that line and went in there, and they get you all registered, and then they say, "All right, go back up yonder to the first building." So we walk all, it's about a mile. We get finally it's 30 degrees outside. We all walking, freezing. We get up there, and so the first thing was that girl, and buddy, what happened was one of them dudes wearing a pink suit walked out there and pulled out one shoe, and it was a pink shoe, and it had I don't know, a thing on the bottom of it that's kind of like a drum, where when you set your heel down, it would sound like a drum hitting. And the other dude pulled out the right shoe, and buddy, she stepped up there and stepped in them shoes and played. These boots are made for walking, and had drum beat and guitar going, and just incredible. Just blew my mind. She was so good. The next dude that got up there, he was about 70 years old and did break dancing. And he went all up and down the wall, almost to the ceiling, all around the room. And I thought, oh my God. And it's the name of the song I was doing is When the Stars Go Blue. So I'm stepping up there, I'm getting ready to do When the Stars Go Blue. And my tooth falls out.
Then your tooth fell out.
I did a one tooth version of When the Stars Go Blue and got turned down. Yep.
Oh, I see. Well, you got a sense of humor about it anyway. That's funny. You became a toothless wonder, right? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I guess you handled it the best you could with humor. That's what you did. I got you. When you do your shows now, do you do any? I want to ask. Do you do any meet and greets, sign autographs, and take photos in your performances?
Well, there's a feller here in town that's in charge of a thing called Happening for Kids organization, and he does a lot of benefits where the money goes, for the kids, and we've raised Thanksgiving turkeys, Christmas money. I think we've done about 6 shows around Nashville, and there's been a lot of top artists that were headliners for these shows. Toby Keith was one of them. Tracy Lawrence was another one. Um, uh, but and he's one of the first. When Tracy Lawrence did that show, it was at the Limelight downtown, and I opened, and so they put me up there on stage, and the engineer is back in the back. I had never seen nothing like this before. I get up on the stage, there's amplifiers all the way up the wall, all the way around you, and the engineer says, "Strum your guitar." So I strum it. You can't hear it. Strum it again. So I strum it again. He said, "Did you step on I forget what they call that switch, but it turns the guitar on and off." And I looked down there, and sure enough,
Like
there's
a
a
pedal?
switch.
Is it like a pedal? Okay.
Yeah, there's a switch in the middle of the chord. I stepped on it, and I strummed my guitar, and it was so loud I jumped off the stage. And then, so then I did my show. I did my 3 songs, and that turned out well for that thing. But Lonnie's got another show going, and Lonnie's been a stage manager for Bob Seger, and also been an interim drummer playing for Bob
Yeah,
Seger.
but what I asked you, you mentioned other things, but have you ever done, or do you ever do any meet and greets, sign autographs, or take photos in your shows?
That's why I was telling you about that. Yes, I do that then at those shows.
You do, okay. And you must enjoy that. You must enjoy that.
Very much.
Okay. Have you ever had any audiences that you felt like they were falling asleep, they were really bored, and it's hard for you to keep their attention? And if that's the case, what have you done to try to turn it around?
Never.
Anybody ever told you you're really boring and they're falling asleep? Nope, you never had that experience.
Never once. And on top of that, here's what I do. When I walk out on stage, especially in Nashville, I say, "I'm the singing mechanic." And here's what they do. They roll their eyes. And then I start singing, and here's what they do. And that's all. Once I see that, it's on. I'm rest of the night. I'm on top.
You're on top, huh?
Yep.
So it doesn't bother you. You just act like nothing happened, right?
Yeah, I expect it. I know it's going to happen, and I know they're going to be surprised.
I see. So you're not going to let anything bother you. You're just going to go right on and act like nothing happened and move right on, huh?
Judy told me I was ready.
No. She told you you're ready. You're ready.
That's right. That's all that matters.
Right. That's phenomenal, Billy. That's really good. Now, I want to ask you, have you ever worked with any celebrities at all, met or worked with any celebrities at all in your career?
Oh, yeah. Through the Happening for Kids shows, I've been on stage with a bunch of different artists.
Tell me about some of them.
Oh, Lord. I wish I could remember. I should have. I didn't look.
You ever meet Dolly Parton?
Not actually Dolly, but no, some of the. You remember any of them, Judy? Oh. I would have to go back and just research all the artists that were at my shows, but there were,
Well, just think of some that stand out.
well, Tracy Lawrence and people like him stood out. That's easy, but there was. Don't you remember at BB King's there were? Dang it. Charlotte Autry's one of my friends. Gene Autry's granddaughter.
Oh, really? Okay.
And done been in a performance where she was part of. Oh man, so many of them. And
I suppose you ever met Roy Rogers?
I've got a letter when Jet Williams, do you remember that was Hank Williams' daughter?
Oh,
Jet Williams.
okay.
Yeah. My daddy had started doing promoting and trying to get artists hooked up with shows along with doing shows himself. And so Hank Williams was one of the ones that he tried to promote and do some shows. But after that, Jet Williams was one he worked with a whole lot. I got a letter of appreciation from Hank Williams to my father for that.
Oh, so you have met some people.
Yeah.
If you think of any more, you can always let me know. Now, talk to me about your performance. Have you ever, any performances? What's the most one that stood out the most? Your best that you feel you've ever had, and also have you ever done any television, radio, podcasts, or any what do they call like theatrical performances, theater work?
News Channel 4 had me on one time.
Yeah.
They wanted to talk about the singing mechanic, and so I had a customer that had called me that was a manager at Walmart, and so I was doing mobile mechanic work at the time. So I go to Walmart and I get her keys and I'm out there and checking out her car, about to start working on it, and so News Channel 4 pulls up and I call her up and I tell her about News Channel 4's out here, and you want to come out here and be on the news? She comes out there and I can't let you work on my car because Walmart has mechanics back here in the back. We got a shop, and if they'll fire me if we. So I had to call a friend of mine, and she came and showed up right quick. And her name's Sammy Cosart. She's a wannabe artist too. And she came and brought her truck, and News Channel 4 did their interview while I worked on her truck. And, you know, part of it was, do you sing while you work? Well, yeah, I sung them a song while I'm working on the truck.
Well, that's an idea for you. Since you're the singing mechanic, you can write a song called The Singing Mechanic.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah, there's an idea for you if you haven't done it. You're the singing mechanic, so why not write a song about that?
Oh, I got an idea for a hee-haw type comedy show. And yeah, singing mechanic would be and I've already got the song wrote.
You might have a show called The Singing Mechanic Show, even. That's possible.
There you go.
Yeah, these are just ideas. I mean, maybe you thought of them, maybe you didn't, but it's off the top of my head, I'm thinking.
Good. You think like me. Yeah.
Now, I had an article you sent me an article, but unfortunately it was upside down and I was not able, and then also the print was too small. I know it was all about you and about your performing. I was not able to read it, unfortunately. It would have been interesting, but that's how it goes. But I'm sure it's all about your being a singing mechanic. I mean, that's special. I mean, just to have a trade like a mechanic itself, it takes a special ability. And then for you to combine that with your songwriting and singing, I love that. It's blazing hot and awesome. It's really great.
You know what? I didn't get rich off my music. Here's what I got rich off of is all the cars that I got to work on.
Oh,
If I gave somebody one CD and they then called me to work on their car, I'm going to make $1,000 off of that CD. Understand?
really?
Because that's how much. That's most car repairs going to wind up somewhere between $700,000-800,000.
What you're saying, the money will come from the sale of your mechanical ability.
Exactly.
But your CDs, I mean, you're giving it as a promotion for what you're doing as a mechanic, but it gives them a sample, I guess, of what you're doing. So
Yeah.
But I'm sure you get good referrals that way. That's how you get testimonials from customers, by doing that, right?
Dude, one time I was working at Pep Boys, and this dude walks up to me, and he hands me two $100 bills.
Wow.
And he says, I like to get somebody's attention before I start talking to them. I said, well, you got all my attention. And he had this ring on it, and it had a big A on there. Dang, what's his name? What's Mama's favorite artist's name?
Oh gosh.
Not Hank Williams. God, what's his name?
Well, I'm sure it's going to come back to you.
It is going to come back to me in a minute. But anyway, he wanted to get all my attention, and he told me who he was. He had a 1932 Ford with a 1980 Chevrolet engine in it that he wanted me to work on. And yeah. Oh, that's right. It wasn't an A. It was a V. There was a V on his ring, a great big V.
Oh,
And there was a G underneath it. He said, you know what that ring means? I said, that was boy, I'm Bern Gosden. And so he takes me to his house. You know, I worked on his car and I could fix it. There wasn't no problem fixing the car. After that, me and him got to be buddies. And then the next thing you know, I'm working on all his Prodigy's cars. And at one point, he had just come out with another album, his last album, whatever it was. but he wanted to make sure I heard all the songs. I got to sit in Byron Gosden's living room and have him play the guitar and sing every song on the album.
So the guy's an entertainer himself, a songwriter and singer,
Oh yeah,
a guitarist. No, you
yeah.
never know where
Byron
you're gonna
Gosden's
be.
one of the best. Yeah,
It's just like Tom Hanks said in Forrest Gump, life is like a box of chocolates. You never quite know what you're going to get. Hopefully it's something sweet. That's correct. Wow, that's really something. Yeah, boy. Now, what's a typical day as a singer and songwriter? What is a typical day?
rejection.
Rejection, huh? You have to have thick shoulders, don't you?
Yeah, yeah. You better get ready for it, especially around Nashville, because in Nashville we got people on the street that are multi award winning artists that are on the street with a hat down or laying on the ground begging for money.
Wow, that's difficult. Have you ever entered any music festivals or contests and everything? And if so, did you win any awards or prizes or anything?
Oh, I was written up. Judy and I got written up as Song of the Month in Music Row magazine for that "Cracking My Armor" song that I told you about earlier.
Mm.
Where the artist wound up suing the record label. Um, and there's been several times that I was number two,
That's
but
great. That's phenomenal. What is a typical day now? As you're a singer and songwriter, well, actually, you're a mechanic too. So, what's a typical day of being a singer, songwriter, and mechanic combined? Since you do all that,
when you get up in the morning, you look on Facebook.
Hmm?
What kind of
Yeah.
opportunities do you see there?
Oh
Then you
yeah.
look online. Do you see any opportunities online? What do you want to do? Do you want to play? Look on. There's several places to look for places to play. They even have an AI uh, uh, that'll help you look for places to play according to what kind of music you want to do and what kind of times that you want to play and things like that. So nowadays there's all kind of help out there for people that want to play. And as far as me goes, I'm about to come out with new music. And so during my time, I've come out with music that was serious, where I was seriously trying to compete and make it in records. And then I came out with music that was comedy, which is kind of like that "Me and My Redneck Romper" song thing that I sent you. Um, those were appealing to my customers and brought me a lot of car work. I'm about to come out with what I consider to be my best songs, and we'll see where that goes. We'll see where that goes.
Well, I
I've
see.
got some powerful friends, and we'll
Well,
see if I get out and play.
that sounds great. Yeah, you're doing quite a bit. Now, out of all the different things in entertainment, what do you prefer? What's your favorite? Is it recording music? Is it writing songs? Or is it in-person performances? Which is your favorite? Or do you like them all equally, or do you have a favorite of them all?
Huh. That's a pretty good question. Of those three, I think my favorite would be the actual recording of the music, the in studio experience.
I see.
It's surreal. You, if you've never experienced it, it's something you'll never forget.
So that's your all-time favorite is the recording
Yeah,
recording music. Okay. Is my favorite performer Elvis? His was he missed the live experience of a live audience, and that's what he really loved.
yeah.
Performing in front of a live audience. Yeah, but everybody's different. Every situation is different. So
Well,
you tell you.
that would probably eventually become mine, but I would need the musicians. I need a set of musicians that are going to perform this and stick with me and go, and that takes a lot of money. And once you've got that and you've got the live audience time after time, yeah, you will. That would be my favorite. Then it's just never happened for me yet.
Oh, I see. So right now it's recording music. That's
Yeah,
what it is.
that's where I feel safest. I got the best musicians then.
I see. Well, um, if you now, let me ask you something. What about music videos? Can you talk about any music videos that you have done?
Yes, sir. Well, I got one out there. It's about my fake girlfriend, fictitious girlfriend. Her name is Spamela. So I wrote that song and I played that song. And when you hear that song on YouTube, every single instrument you hear playing is me. And same thing with Redneck Romper and How About That? Those are all three comedy type songs. And I played every instrument on every song.
That's great. How do you go about creating a music video? How was your
When it came time for the video, the same engineer that recorded the songs for me happened to also have the video recording equipment that we needed. And
I see.
so, I mean, he even had a drone and was flying his camera around and everything for How About That?
Well, that's fantastic. Well, let me ask you something, Billy. If you had to do anything over again in your life and your career, would you do anything differently?
Oh, yeah. When I had that $989,000 in the stock market, I would not have made that next trade.
You wouldn't have. Okay.
No, I lost all of it.
So you would do something differently. Okay. Well, live and learn, right? Do you have any present projects right now, Billy, that you're working on?
I'm on a farm out in Cumberland Furnace, Tennessee, and so I'm doing repairs for people on their cars and stuff out here, and I'm farming. I'm an excellent farmer. I got vegetables to die for out here. But while I'm out here, I'm able to play and write also in complete seclusion on a 15-acre farm. And so hopefully you'll hear soon. About to come out with some fantastic stuff. Yeah.
Wow. So do you have any particular projects in mind that you're working on right now?
Not right now, no.
Not
But
right
I
now.
will be soon. Not yet.
Oh, I see. Okay. Do you have any future dream projects that you have thought about you'd like to do? Not doing it now, but you may consider doing it in the future.
Yeah, I want to do that show where I'm the singing mechanic, and it's a hee-haw type show, and maybe we find an artist, some artist every week that needs their car worked on. Well, hell, I done worked on half of them's cars anyway, and they already know me, and so we get to go to their house, and I work on their car, and they sing a song. That'd be a fantastic show every week.
Sounds like it. Sounds like it. What do you think about the talent shows out there? I know you tried out for America's Got Talent, it didn't work out, but you had a good laugh about it. But what is your opinion of shows like America's Got Talent, The Voice, or X Factor, or even American Idol?
Oh, I love all of those shows, and as a matter of fact, I have my application in right now, and my audition in to Seniors Have Talent right now.
Oh, okay.
Hopefully, I will get on that show.
So you feel they can be helpful for people?
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah, just because they didn't pick me because I had one tooth, that don't matter to me. I think they're still great shows.
If once you don't succeed, try again. Next time you won't be the toothless wonder. You'll
I
actually.
got all my teeth now, so I ain't
Your
worried.
teeth are intact, right? It should work out. Okay. All's well that ends well, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have any advice for people who want to make it in entertainment? Not everybody has your talents to combine mechanic. That's a special one, to combine being a mechanic to being the singing mechanic. Not everybody has that talent, but if they want to make it in entertainment, doing anything, whether it be singing or songwriter or anything, it could be anything. It could be acting, it could be performing, it could be dancing or comedian or any. I've had all kinds of people on the show. A ventriloquist or a magician, or or even an Elvis tribute artist that time. And you have advice for anybody that wants to make it, knowing how difficult it is.
Yes. And here's my advice. It's not going to all happen at once. A little at a time. Make progress every single day, even if it's only this big.
I see.
Make progress every day, and pretty soon you'll turn after 1 year of this big, 365 days, you'll find yourself way up here.
Wow. That's good advice. There's an old saying, quitters never win, right? And winners never quit.
That's right.
And there's an original poem I shared with Judy. I'll share with you also that I created a long time ago. Positive thoughts make you hot. Negative thoughts make you rot. So be hot. Don't rot.
I like that.
Or you put a pot and you'll lose a lot. And you won't be a big shot.
I like that. Very good. You should put that out there and make T-shirts.
I'm glad you like that. It's a good name, Billy. That's my producer's name is Bill also.
Mine is not William on my birth certificate, by the way. Mine is Billy. My first grade teacher asked me what my real name was, and I said Billy, and she said, "No, it's William." And so my mama had to come down to the school and get her straightened out.
A lot of great Billy Joel. There's a lot of great Billies out there. Billy Idol. There's a lot of them in the entertainment. Yeah. Anyway, if people want to find out more about you, Billy DeVereaux, the singing mechanic, how can they go about finding out about you? Give me a rundown of the links. Entertainment website, Facebook page, YouTube channel, imdb.com, Spotify, or Instagram, or even LinkedIn. Tell me how people can go ahead and find out about you.
Facebook's going to be Billy DeVereaux, and it's DEVEREAUX, the way it's supposed to be spelled.
Okay.
And folks, DeVereaux's my middle name. My real last name is Robbins. I didn't want nobody to know I was a mechanic when I went downtown Nashville and started singing, and everybody knew me as Billy Robbins.
Okay,
so I told them my name was Billy DeVereaux, and next thing I know, everybody knows me as Billy DeVereaux. Now I got to keep being Billy DeVereaux.
Yeah, but Judy's your sister, and her last name is Rodman, so it's totally a different name.
Well, that's because she got married to this dude named John Rodman that was, the greatest drummer on earth.
I see. I got you. Well, you make a great team, both of you. That's for sure.
He was Tanya Tucker's drummer. Did you know that?
Tanya Tucker?
Yeah, he was Tanya Tucker's drummer. Did you know that?
Who is?
John, her husband, John Rodman.
Oh, her husband was Tanya Tucker's drummer. Fantastic.
Yeah, this dude takes control of a stage like you ain't never seen.
Wow. Well, I guess if you don't control the stage, it won't control you. That's for sure.
That's right.
That's phenomenal. It's really good. So they can find you on all these things. Facebook, you got an entertainment website. You have
Reverb Nation is another place to find me.
Okay. And imdb.com, are you on that, or are you on
I'm on
Instagram?
iTunes. I'm on iTunes.
iTunes,
you can probably find me just about everywhere since I'm on iTunes.
Spotify, are you on LinkedIn? Are you on any of those?
Yes,
okay.
All of those.
You are. Okay, so they shouldn't have any problem finding you then. Okay.
No.
Okay, they should go ahead and get on your links. They should support you, buy your music, and do all that. Okay.
I would love them, all of them.
Okay, great, fantastic. Okay, well, I'm going to say this is the time we've all been waiting for, ladies and gentlemen. It's now showtime. It's showtime with Billy DeVereaux, the singing mechanic. The Painted Desert is the first song. That's the first one. So cool. Let's go for it. Let's kick back, relax, and enjoy. Have a very entertaining and fun time.
Thank you.
Painted Desert, Billy DeVereaux, the singing mechanic. All right.
Across the painted desert I ride, on a horse made of steel, with a gun at my side. Oh, painted desert, all kissed by the sun, seems to be whispering, there's a job to be done. I go to rid the world of men who would that the desert be painted again. blood of Americans o'er the land and the sea, and the painted desert never again would be free. Behind my new made bride, many times through the desert we rode side by side. Oh, painted desert, I'm leaving today for a blood-covered desert in a land far away. And when I return from that land or the sea, and I know that America is still the home of the free, I know on that day once again by my side across the painted desert we'll ride.
You have no idea. That band played that song at the end of that lead that they played in between the first and second verse. Or no, between the second and third verse, he played the lead. At the end of the lead, I'm supposed to sing again. I'm still standing there with my mouth open like this. And
Wow.
start the song over again.
Oh, wow. That's pretty neat. That's really neat, Billy. What you're saying, I didn't quite hear what exactly you said. What was that again that you said?
In that song, in between the second and third verse, the lead guitar player the band comes in, they play a lead. At the end of that lead, I'm still standing there with my mouth open like this.
That's
I'm
funny.
supposed to be singing again. I'm still standing there.
Oh, I see. You're doing that. Gotcha. Well, bravo. That was fantastic. As we blaze forward, ladies and gentlemen, we have a final song called "Where Did You Sleep Tonight?" Kick back, relax, and enjoy. Have a blazing hot, fun time blazing forward for the singing mechanic.
Love you, awesome Johnny Blaze, and
Billy
love my
DeVereaux.
girlfriend Kat too.
That's right. Okay, let's go for it, ladies and gentlemen. Where Did You Sleep Last Night with Billy DeVereaux?
My girl, where have you been? Tell me, where did you sleep last night? You caused me to weep, you caused me to moan, and you caused me to leave my home. In the pines, where the sun never shines, and you shiver when the cold wind blows. In the pines, where the sun never shines, and you shiver when the cold wind blows. The longest train I ever saw was headed down the Georgia line. The first car passed at 6 o'clock, and the last car passed at 9. Her husband was a hard-working man. never shines, and you shiver when the cold wind blows. I asked my friend for the time of day. Yeah.
That whole thing's Judy Rodman inspired.
Yeah, that was something. Oh, yeah. Wow. Yeah. Bravo, bravo. Where did you sleep last night? What a song.
Thank
What a
you.
catchy song. Enjoy it. I want to thank my guests. I want to thank you very much. The singing mechanic, Billy DEVEREAUX, for being a guest on the Amazing Richard Johnny Blaze Show. Enjoyed having you on. Time went by fast. You're fun. You're inspirational. You're entertaining. I couldn't ask for anything more than a guest. And anyway, I do. As I get ready now to close the show and to wrap it up. I always say to all my fans and friends, always keep a smile on your face and a song in your heart. And until next time, happy trails and blaze out.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you would like to be a guest on the Amazing Original Johnny Blaze Show, please send us an email to amazingoriginal@gmail.com. All of our guests receive a complimentary DVD of their appearance on the show, and every episode appears on YouTube and Facebook, where we receive at least 3,000 to 5,000 views per episode. Always remember, we are much better than a podcast. We can be seen as well as heard. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, The Amazing Original Johnny Blaze Show. And now, ladies and gentlemen, The Amazing Original Johnny Blaze has just left the building. Good night. God bless. Thank you so very much.